my favorite hobbies used to be drawing. My sister taught me how. I would see something on TV that I like wanted to have tangibly, but I couldn't like articulate onto a blank canvas like a piece of paper. So uh, I would just have my sister draw everything for me, like too much, and but eventually she like taught me how to trace this one picture like all the time, over and over again, and then like eventually I didn't need the original picture as a guide. I didn't need it as a guide anymore. For some reason lately, I've been getting interested in architecture and like just like the bigger picture of a town or a city. Just the possibilities of gold medals and trophies and the competition. Or like having an encounter with someone that kind of seems to have life figured out. Like they have all the answers, and uh, they they basically live life as if it's a lucid dream, which is transparent and easy to understand. But those winners where and a winner is someone who has everything go their way and is powerful and serious about doing things correctly, which is why they have ego, because they have a lack of errors to display, which means they're not disappointed in themselves and have earned self-respect. Which most people will probably think of as like an optimized sequence or high quality life experience, because they can tell a vision in high definition, which is where the word momentum comes from. So it literally has a word in it. But yeah, they feel in control instead of things happening to them that they feel are arbitrary, aka random and pointless. Um, because when you're lucid dreaming, you kind of look around and you're like, oh, none of this makes sense. And then, it kind of helps you figure out what it is that you actually want out of life, because you're in a place where you can do anything that you set your mind to. But when you wake up, it's none of it actually happened. It's like a realistic looking computer generated imagery movie. Like it was all make believe and only happened in your brain. Like while your body was paralyzed and inanimate. Which is a very vulnerable moment in your 24-hour day, which is probably where the phrase kidnapping comes from, because like you sleep for 8 hours a day, and that's how long the school day is as well. And then there's the Amber Alerts that we've all been getting, and there's also details, emphasis on tails, and pet dogs and how God is dog spelled backwards. And those are all, very important things to people on planet Earth and maybe even the universe. And yeah, personally, I like tigers, like, because I think of them as like, the king of the animal kingdom. And I personally think of dogs as, the fool. It's kind of like class clowns and mesomorphic jocks. Brandon McMillan actually has a pretty good master class on it. He basically just says stuff about like you have to teach a dog manners, not just tricks. And if you don't allow your dogs to exercise, then it's going to be completely out of control with all that energy. You didn't even look my way. They say like fingertips and horizontal rotational. Disorganized and messing with people all the time. If you let life knock you down. Do I have to keep on talking till I can't go on? Powerful businessman. And then there's just cachet prestige and 725 credit score, private school royals and cocktail parties, sophisticated stuff. After, like, what happened in Minneapolis.
apply for a loan for you, that would be a roundabout.
As soon as you wake up, you gotta make your own room.
And Bill Nye always says that heat is energy that like always spreads out. And it's like a tire. Yeah, people are always attracted to like shiny and warm things that like fire. Like people always ooh and ah about circles, um, or ellipses, as Bill Nye calls them. Like for example, if someone's attracted to someone with like really nice looking cheekbones on their face, something like that, or symmetry or whatever. Oh yeah, but also dive into fractions. Like I feel like dogs are kind of the lowest common denominator as far as the animal kingdom goes. Yeah, the older I get, the more I start to realize just how much things in life have to do with math. Like I just realized a little while ago that football brackets and reciprocity, like that's all in math. I hated math, like until I was actually getting the answers correct and like getting good momentum and like solving the class of problems. Then it was fun.
Okay, so I'm kind of writing a romance novel about varsity honor roll student that is a child prodigy, and he kind of becomes elected to be a tutor and a coach because it doesn't really go unnoticed that he is doing all the work and passes all his classes with flying colors, and like never gets picked last in PE class. I mean, the kid's only like a sophomore in high school, but he really knows what he's doing. And in all his classes, everyone always wants to be partners with him during group projects. And the girl that kind of sees him as a romantic interest role at first, and she's kind of like, why is this so like stimulating? And then she finds out there's actually really something to that, and she ends up like copying off his work throughout the entire semester, and then eventually gets caught cheating off his test during and gets moved to remedial class. So that's pretty much the storyline I have so far. And it's called tutelage.